Hi, um, hi again, welcome to my channel. Thanks for popping by. It's a video which is for me, um, a long time in the making. Um, I wanted to um, actually acquire a PRS guitar. I wasn't really interested because I'm a kind of like, we get stuck in our own ways. We kind of grow up with idols in our minds, people we admire, we aspire to. And obviously, back in my day, because I'm not 16, um, I was inspired by people who mainly predominantly played Gibsons and Fenders, you know. Um, so what I wanted to do is it's opened my mind, obviously, you know, the budget, I'm really kind of impressed with budget makers like Firefly, like Jet, um, they're going up in prices now, Harley Benson, and it allowed me to get certain guitars because obviously I wanted to get a Les Paul, a USA, but too expensive. And, my first kind of, which, because the makers are making really good guitars now, and the Harley Benton SC552, it was a revelation. Maple cap, mahogany body, that type of thing. Good pickups, and it allowed me to. One of my most successful videos were, can a Harley Benton really compete with Gibson? In my case, it can. Um, you know, so I wanted to basically kind of, you know, do a kind of rundown on PRS guitars. Some people like them, some people don't, but I am. Um, I like. I'm not a perfectionist, but I like. If I'm going to invest in a guitar, I want to know it's made well. And obviously, you all know that Paul Reed Smith is got a reputation for making high quality guitars. So the two guitars I did sort of do a tone test. I wanted, before I kind of made this video, I thought, let me kind of get to grips with them first of all. I didn't want to spend a lot of money. The prices are quite expensive, even for the SE model. I was aiming for the SE models because the American core was out of the question. I'm not going to spend that kind of money on a guitar anymore. But let me sort of concentrate on get two guitars in particular, because I like Strats, the John Mayer kind of model, the SE Silver Sky. I thought I need to get one of those, and I wanted to get a PRS custom, not the 24, the 22, with a kind of hardtail wraparound bridge type of thing. So I was looking out until obviously I came across some really, really good buys, fine. Now, obviously I'm going to start with this one first. This is going to probably take a bit of time. These are the two guitars I'll be showcasing, the Silver Sky and the Custom, but I'll start with this one first. Okay, it's the PRS SE Silver Sky, John Mayer model. Yeah, it's got a quite fetching plate on it. I took the back plate off because I basically got this guitar on eBay. I was looking for the cheapest way possible. Now I know it's got several companies like Gear for Music, I think Anderton's. If you wanted to get your hand on one of these now, you can get them very, very, very cheap, about £599. You're talking about £600. A pound off £600, which is a great value, I think. Now he says that he prides himself that he wanted to keep the kind of what's the word, the level of consistency in build quality and make, so you can literally order one from the box, and literally play it and take it on a gig. I thought that's a bold statement to make. I got that with the PRS SE Custom, Not quite with this, because I was hunting around for the cheapest one. They're still going for, you know, some people are selling them more than you can get them for Antons from brand new. So I thought, well, hang on, you know, I bid it on one, and I thought I'm not prepared to go more than, you know, I had a budget in mind. You know, I wanted to get it for the price of a Harley Benton SE 552. You know, the £200-300 mark. I thought, well, good luck with that, but I'd managed to get one. You know, this one, I won the bid because it's been gigged. So I thought, okay, if it's been gigged heavily, it's going to have wear on the frets and things like that. That didn't put me off, because I'll do my own repairs. You know, I'm not taking to no luthier. I'll do it myself. So this is what I got. Yeah. Someone put in a comment. It's quite funny. He said, yeah, I've got one of those. What do you call it? Banana yellow or something like that. You know, his wife calls it banana yellow or something like that. But it's a kind of, you can see the colour coming out on it. It's like a banana colour, but it's a cross between a banana kind of and a cream. I wanted that, you know. Now, let me, for example, tell you first of all the specs, yeah, and I'll tell you the bit about the story, how, you know, what I found of this. Now, I'm just going to get the specs completely out of the way. The PRS SE Silver Sky is a familiar iteration of the original Silver Sky model that was first introduced with John Mayer in 2018. This workhorse guitar provides ample tone and playability in 4 distinct colours, delivering the looks, the feel and the sound. The PRS SE Silver Sky starts with a poplar body, bolt-on maple neck and a rosewood fingerboard with the PRS trademark birds inlay. Yeah. The 22 frets has got a 25.5 scale length. The neck features the original 635 JM carve and an 8.5 fretboard radius. So the PRS Silver Sky will feel right at home. Plug it in, and the 3 single coils, the 635 JMs, pickups will bark and sing. Well, we'll see about that. This guitar is anchored by a 2-point steel tremolo synthetic bone nut. The vintage style tuners, other featured include the PRS Silver Sky inverted headstock shape and the PRS double acting truss rod, accessible from the front of the headstock for ease of use. Okay. Right, and obviously it comes with its gig bag, which I got. So let me tell you a story about this one. So basically, I got the bid. I got it at an extremely very good price. I went in to collect it because I didn't want it. Something told me just go and collect it. It's not far away. You know, and you can rest assured it'll come in one piece. So I went there, and I collected it, and I looked at it. Very clean, as you can see. I didn't see any. The body, the person who's been gigged, because he bought it second hand. I spoke to a gentleman who said it belonged to his son. He bought it second hand. I left the back plate off, by the way. So it's third hand, so I'm the third owner, you could say. Now, I had a look at it first of all. I thought, okay, I got it cheap. I kind of played around with it a little bit, and I thought, okay. I looked, you know, and I got home. It worked. I looked very closely. If it's been gigged, he said it's been heavily gigged. I looked at it and I saw the kind of typical trademarks. With, you know, when you play, some people have got very heavy feel, a touch with their guitars, and some people don't cut their nails. I was always told when I first started playing is that cut your nails with them because it will damage your fret, and it won't come up on this because, you know, it's got digits on it where, because I did treat it where I can see little digits on it. So I've noticed that, you know, some of the frets further up on the register, higher up on the register, was being filed down. I thought, oh God, here we go. So when you do that, you have to do it properly, you know. So so what I did, I got my fret profile tool and I had to re-profile the frets, you know, to get it. It was a bit high because obviously the worn digits will affect, you know, when you're playing up high or choke and stuff like that. So what I did, I kind of done my best to kind of remove some of the digits on it and re-profile the fret to make it sort of playable. So I put a video out, and, you know, a short and a kind of tone test, you know, putting it through its paces to see how it feels. I literally put new Ernie Ball Super Singleys 9s on it. I've treated the fretboard. It's not nice dark kind of fretboard rosewood, which is good. Also you can see the Clues and Styles machine heads. It's not lock-in. People say don't like this plastic thing, but I thought it suits it really, you know. I love the beveled type of shape of the jack plate. I think it's quite nice, makes it look classy. I left the back plate off because obviously the American core, it doesn't have a back plate. So you know, I looked inside. It's got a full trem block on it, 4 springs, and it's quite clean and tidy. So I left it off anyway. You know. Okay, now. So basically, I had to fettle with it. You know, I had to mess about with the truss rod action. You know, most of the work was done on kind of reprofiling the frets. Okay, so you know, I've got it for, you know, and obviously the trem was really, you know, I had to make it so it floats a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this test, the tone test, I'm going to mainly be using my Roland Cube amplifier. If it can sound good on this, you know, it'll sound good on anything, you know. But these are really great amplifiers, they really are, you know. I bought this second hand as well from eBay. So I'm going to be using this. Okay. Now, what it's saying, I'm going to start with the clean channel, go through some of the tones. On this, it's got a JC Clean. That's a Roland amplifier. It's mimicking, you know, a Roland Jazz amplifier. Okay, let's have a look. So I'm starting with in the neck position. That's the neck pickup. Yeah, it sounds quite rich. Nothing wrong with that. Now I'm going to basically put it in the position, the in-between positions. That's the neck and the middle. Whoops. That's better. the middle position. The middle and the bridge. And the actual bridge. And obviously, you can turn it. I'm going to try the tone potentiometers just to see what it's like. I did take it up when I took it apart to kind of to do the necks and stuff like that. I noticed it had full-size potentiometers, excuse me, and a mechanical bridge. So it's got quality parts on it. Yeah, I noticed with these pickups, they call them the JM, that they've got a lot of clarity. It doesn't sound like a Strat. It sounds like a Strat, but it doesn't. It's got quite a distinctive voicings on these pickups, to my ears anyway, you know. This sound, for example, try it with the Vox. This has got a Vox setting on it, which is called the vintage, I can't really see this, it's so small. The Brick Combo, that's a Vox, isn't it? Okay. That's on the neck, and in between. Good sustain. Middle. relative in tune. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, it's very responsive, especially the pickups. A lot of tone variation you can get with it. And if you wanted, I can see somebody of a Strat player falling in love with this. I would have thought the 8.5 radius neck, I thought, oh, it's going to be wool. But it plays quite well, it's quite comfortable. A lot of people have said they prefer the SE than the Core, because the Core has got the type of typical neck, what that's got is kind of wide and flat, you know, but this is more kind of, if you're a Strat player, the typical kind of Strat square neck, you'll find this quite comfortable. Okay, all right, so that's that one. Okay, so what's my conclusion on this one? Yes, I think it's if somebody wants an alternative, you know, if you can get one second hand, but as I said before, in Andertons they're doing it, and Gear for Music, I think they're doing it currently for $599, which is a pretty good price, you know. Okay, now, so it's quality. It's a good made guitar. Now, coming on to this now, the SE, the SE5, the SE Custom PRS 22. Two seconds, I'm just going to get right. Now let's basically talk about this one. Okay, the PRS SE Custom 22 means it's got 22 frets as opposed to 24. It's in lovely condition, second hand as well. As I said, it was even cheaper than that one, you know, under £300. Can you believe that? You know, in quite exceptional condition. There's no kind of wear and tear. Let's get, for example, just pick up this, find out the specs of this one, so you got an idea. It's a little tip there. You want a, you know, quality guitar, get it second hand if you dare, you know. But if you can actually go and visit, you know, and check it out yourself. Right. It says if you're after a slice of the, I'm just reading something online. It says if you're after a slice of PRS history with vintage inspired looks, workhorse reliability, this is an early PRS SE Custom 22 from 2003 ticks all the right boxes. It's made in Korea by the World Musical Instrument. This is one of the original SE models, complete with this, obviously got a flame maple veneer top, a classic stop tail bridge, and the right, what's got on here? Right, it comes with 22 frets. Okay, key features, let's go skip through that, you know, someone's jabbering on about. Right, marketing stuff. The mahogany body is made mahogany body with a flame maple veneer. Maple neck, it's got maple neck with rosewood fingerboard, 22 frets. Okay, it's got the bird inlays on this one. PRS design humbuckers, you know, and it's got the PRS wraparound stop tail bridge. Okay, and it's built in Korea. Okay, now, you know, you probably realise that people don't even know that, but it's made by the world-renowned Court factory in Korea, which they make a lot of the well-known guitars you probably know of, You know, you check them out, quartz, really rock solid. They're really, really, really good. Now, coming to this guitar, as I said, I got this purely by chance, really, because I was going to get a kind of hard case from my Strat, and the guy said he wanted a kind of, he's getting rid of all his guitars because he's talking about, you know, this some point eBay's going to start charging tax and all that kind of stuff, VAT and all that kind of stuff, or what, I don't know what his words to that effect. So he wanted to get it. He said, I've got guitars as well and other stuff and pedals. I said, well, what guitar have you got? I said, I've got 2 PRSs. I thought, that's interesting. Never owned one. I played it in a shop once. I've never actually owned a PRS. I said, let's have a look at it. And he bought this. He said, which one do you want? Do you want that? I've got a plain top or a kind of veneer, kind of crude. I said, you know, tremolo. I said, no, I want a hardtail. You know, so he said, okay, I'll bring this one out. And I thought, wow, this is really, really good. Got it cheaper than what I paid for my Jet. $250, I think I paid for it, or $230 or $250. I thought, what a bargain. And it's in really, really good condition. All the binding was good, you can see. There's no knocks or anything. The frets are like brand new on it. There's no wear on the frets whatsoever. You know, the machine heads are really, really good, as you can see. It's in excellent condition. So I'm really, really pleased with that, you know. So I've got really, really good buy. So basically I've got a quality guitar, you know, for the price of a budget guitar. You know, that's the way to do it. Okay, now let's, for example, make sure it's in tune. Yeah, by the way, this Roland Cube, the last iteration, it's got built-in tuners and everything, and it's really, really good. Okay, battery operated, all means, right. Okay, I think I've done a unboxing of that anyway. It wasn't very good, but you know, I was just getting grips with it. But this is really good. Right, let's start with the on the neck pickup. Obviously, being humbucker is going to be a bit louder than that, so let me turn it down a bit. It's a powerhouse of an amplifier. It's only small, but it packs a punch. It really does. It's great for home, you know, recording, whatever. Great sustain. Oh, I love these pickups. It's got beautiful, mellow kind of. That's the neck, the middle, in between. And the bridge. Wonderful. Let's check out the potentiometers on this. It's got obviously full-size pots as well on the tone. quality, as you can hear on the volume. Nothing wrong there. Perfect. Let's hear it, for example, with a slight crunch tone. It's on the bridge. Nothing wrong with that. Middle. And the neck. Right. You've heard them both, okay? What's my conclusion? My conclusions, these are, it depends on your budget. The SE is the way to go, I think. People are on a budget, or they can still pay quite a fair chunk, because when you're talking about between £600 to £800 to £1,000, it's still quite a lot of money. But the route to go is the route I took. Finding a second-hand, well-used example, you can get it for the price of a budget guitar, yeah, but you're getting quality at the same time. Yes, I've played Fender Players and all that, and this is up there, definitely. This will give my Gibson a run for its money all day long. People talk about Mojo and all that, but what is that, you know? But do you know what? The way I look at it, if you pick up a guitar and it speaks to you, and you connect with it, that's all you need. Because I've got some cheap guitars, and I didn't gel with it. I don't gel with it. I just sort of got rid of it because I just didn't like it. I didn't feel it. Expensive guitars, it's the same, but this one, both of them are, this especially, this is my thing, you know. If I had to, personally, because obviously, you know, I'm a kind of Gibson humbucker man, so my first choice is this guitar all day long. It's, you know, but it's a bit unfair to this, because this is a worn, the frets are worn and digits and stuff on it, and I kind of try to reprofile it, so it'd be interesting. You know, I've never played a Silver Sky in a shop, so I don't know. I haven't got nothing to measure it up against, to compare it to. That's why I played more fluent on this than this. I was kind of fumbling with this because, yes, I've done the reprofile of the fret. I'm not 100% happy with it. I have to probably do it again. But both are quality guitars, you know. This especially got my attention, yeah. So, you know, what do you, it doesn't matter what I think, because at the end of the day, I can't portray you over the video how it actually feels in my hands. They both feel quite well. It feels really, really good. But for my money, this all day long, you know. If I've ever got another PRS, the one what would basically, what's piqued my attention is the it's the gold top. Is it Gresham or something? You know, it's a gold top. I forget the name of it. It slipped my mind now. I did know it. It's a gold top with a tremolo arm. I think it's Dave Gresham or something. It's a tribute model to him. But that one, thought, yeah, I heard good things about it, and I'd like to get one of them. But you know, but that's it. So what you know, type in the kind of comments what you thought about this. If you've got one, what's your experience? You know, etc. That's it for now. Thank you very much indeed. So I've got that one out of the way. I know I keep on saying to you guys that I'm going to do my collection. It's hard work, it really is, you know. So I didn't realise I've got so many guitars. I really didn't. And I'll get around to it. I probably might sort of do a couple, you know. So I get quite emotional. I get quite attached to it. When you get attached to an instrument, you get something, especially like this. Imagine if I, you know, so I've started, this plays and feels completely different, 50% better than when I first bought it. Because, you know, to me, the feel of the neck is where the rubber meets the road. You can pick up a really good guitar, and if the neck is horrible, and you think, oh, I've got this, the frets and the action, no, you're fighting a losing battle. So the first thing when you pick up a guitar is the neck and how it feels, you know. You know, what I was going to say, I think that was it. Yeah, you know, I would probably, you know, I will at some point try to get that way. I need to sort of a kind of whittle my collection out, because obviously it's come to the end of the year now, and in order for me to get other guitars, I need to offload quite a few, you know. Not as much as that guy. He's got a guy on the YouTube, it's called The Guitarist. He had about 65 guitars. I thought, whoa, you know, I haven't got that many, but you know, that's a lot, you know. And he made some drastic steps to reduce that number to get more other guitars. I'll have to do the same anyway. Thanks again for all the comments and you've put in there. It's really encouraged me and stuff like that. But you know, wait till the next one. All right. Don't know what I'll do next, but I'll probably start cracking on or try to do part 2 of that, my guitar collection, he says. All right, okay. All right, bye for now. Have a great day.